Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Sweet Life TV. Without giving too much away, we'll be looking at nonprofits and how technology is impacting their industry.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's episode because Gurus, our sponsor, is big on helping nonprofits. We actually have a program called Gurus for Good where we implement NetSuite for free for organizations who are eligible.
We'll have a link for Gurus for Good in the description of this video, but in the meantime, let's jump right into it.
Welcome to Sweet Life TV, your one-stop tech talk where we discover the best business tools with the experts behind them. Filmed live on set at Guru's headquarters in Montreal. Guru Solutions is North America's largest Oracle NetSuite ERP services provider. Visit their website at gurusolutions.com with your hosts Ethan Bozoglu and John Serino.
Welcome back to Sweet Life TV. I want to welcome our guest today. Nicole Letelier works at Opportunity Fund as her VP of Accounting based out of San Jose. She actually has over 2 decades of experience in nonprofit organizations and charity work. To counter on the technical side, we have David Gosselin, who will be your SME on technology, cloud technology, to be more specific for nonprofit organizations. Love to take a step back, and talk a little bit more about Opportunity Fund and what you guys do. So, I know your slogan is very catchy. It's we believe everyone deserves a chance to succeed. And you guys are all about second chances.
We loan to small businesses. When a business has been active for about a year, they can come to us and say, they need to purchase a vehicle or they need some working capital, and we will loan them money. The people who come to us have been rejected by the mainstream lenders, mainly banks. And their other options are predatory lending, cash advance, credit card, which costs too much money for them. It would kill their business. So Opportunity Fund comes in to fill in that gap where entrepreneurs don't get the financing they need. And we serve a lot of women, low-income entrepreneurs, immigrants, a lot of people who don't have either a credit score or they don't have enough experience that the banks will not lend to them.
And Nicole, what is your relationship like with the companies that you've helped over time?
We do stay in touch with a lot of, not all of them, we have over 6,000 borrowers right now. Whenever we have an event as a company, we will hire them. We had a 20th anniversary gala. We had the caterer was a client, the person who provided the flowers, the person who provided the music. They were all clients of us. We used to have a savings program to help college students. And I hired one of our graduates. And I was so proud to hire him because it's full circle. He was the first to graduate in his family. And I got to give him his first chance at a job. And that's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm a big Shark Tank fan, and I just can't help but notice the similarities. I would describe you guys as a sort of like an off TV Shark Tank for nonprofits, where you're sort of you're the opportunity when people say America's land of freedom and opportunity for immigrants, and that's super cool. It's
Absolutely.
A great cause.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're looking to resolve? What are some of the issues that you're looking to get help with when it comes to the technology?
Well, we've been through a tremendous growth. It's been quite impressive. We used to be only in Silicon Valley 6 years ago, and now we are nationwide. We are reaching out to all the states through technology. We couldn't do it physically. We cannot have people everywhere in the U.S. to do the loan. So we need technology to do that, but also to process all the transactions. We service all these 6,000 loans. My team collect all the money from the 6,000 loans. We need technology to handle all of that.
You're looking for a means of accelerating the process, or a way of having a larger view, or
we need to have a fast processes because we have a lot of transactions. They need to be accurate. We cannot go one by one when all these people pay their loans every month.
Right.
We have to have a system in place that has all the controls, and we know the information that's coming in is correct.
Right.
And that no one is touching it. Right. I've learned that when human beings are touching data, That's where you introduce errors. So we need a system that flows by itself, but we need to trust it. We need to have the controls in place to do that. And technology is what we needed.
And that's where someone like David comes in.
That's where David and Guru and NetSuite came in, because they allow us to expand and keep accuracy and fast processing, even if we're bigger than we were.
David, can you talk to us a little bit about some of the things that we're implementing to help with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Opportunity Fund generates a lot of data. Not just in the sense like these loans are. I mean, there's 6,000 borrowers, but a lot of borrowers have more than a single loan, right?
That too, yes.
Right. So there's a lot of data that is being generated from Opportunity from that aspect, and then what we develop with NetSuite is really a way to get through from their own borrowing system, because the borrowing system is something that is just massive and so close to their own business that they chose to keep. And then we take that data and pull in NetSuite using the capacity again of NetSuite of importing data, massive amount of data pretty quickly, and then giving a lot of detailed reporting that will help them just to see what is going on and have a lot of transparency also on who's touching what, like Nicole said. I mean,
it's interesting, Nicole, because you have over 20 years of experience in nonprofits. What do you feel the biggest impact of, cloud technology, which is very recent, is on the nonprofit industry, and how do you think it's really changing things for the better?
I wanted a cloud system because we are growing, and that's where the technology is going. And I needed the capacity to grow. I needed a system that will support whatever is coming my way, because I don't know what is management thinking about and what in 2 years we're going to be doing. So the cloud and the new technology, that's what I needed to set us up for the next 20 years.
Now, interesting that you say that, because with the inflation in technology, we have almost no idea where we're going to be in 5 years, right?
That's true.
David, we do kind of talk about how even though we don't know where the technology is going to be 100% in a few years, we like the fact that NetSuite is a foundation that can be expanded on. It's flexible.
Absolutely. The core of NetSuite, really, and I don't know if my engineering friends are going to agree with me, but the core of NetSuite is really the financial aspect of it. I mean, the impact that are being recorded through each transactions is really based that the system. It shows that the system has been built to support business process, but also with a very close view of the financial impact that these processes have. So basically, financials will remain, the core of the system will remain, and then we can expand with the technology with these two upgrade cycles. We have 2 upgrades a year. They keep developing new solutions based on that. So very exciting for us in the future.
I mean, to David's point, it sounds like the real benefit of having a cloud solution like, say, NetSuite is not the fact that it necessarily just replaces solutions, but that it's scalable. Once it's in the cloud, it's not like you have hardware that you need to upkeep and change every 2 years. It's a system that updates itself whenever there's new technology or new progress.
Because the implementation is one thing on day one, on go live is one thing, what you're doing with the system right now, but the system can evolve. As Opportunity Funds grows. Maybe the system will require other processes to manage fund campaigns or any other things. I mean, the system can support that thing that we are not currently using with Opportunity Funds, but it's there. So it can be used and it will evolve as well.
Yeah. The nice thing about it is, in terms of its flexibility and the evolution and the growth, right, is that it's great that you're starting with that financial aspect, and then somewhere down the line, if you want to expand it to your marketing team or your operations team, you have the ability to incorporate all of your processes into this one system, and and you have a view of everything. Everyone has a view of what's going on within your organization. Maybe in a year or 2 or 3, as Opportunity Fund becomes more mature with the technology, you might be using it to further help people. Like you might be using it within your fundraising campaigns or
Absolutely.
your
Grant
outreach.
management or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's all there.
I mean, just in terms of data, I know you guys have some a really big name investors in the United States, and I'm sure you also said you have 6,000 clients. That's a lot of data to be managing on spreadsheets annually, let alone quarterly. Can you talk about, sort of the difference of back then versus now? How would these processes have been, let's say, like 10 years ago?
The huge difference between my old system and this one, and he's going to agree with me, it's the import function. I'm the queen of imports.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first thing I mastered, because without the imports, the system was a no-go. Either we can import that massive data from the lending system, or NetSuite is no good for me. So I had to focus on that. And now I import everything. I love it because nobody touches it. It's a lot easier to manipulate some of the data on the Excel, make sure it's correct, and then import it all at once. I have daily transactions that have over 1,500 lines.
Wow.
We're talking about a lot of
Can't
data.
even imagine manually managing all of that.
We can't. So again, my auditor's background helped me create points where we test the data before we import it, and we know that it is correct with those 2 or 3 little tests quickly done on the Excel side, and then boom, it's in NetSuite.
But like Nicole said, I mean, like the growth was very hard. I mean, like growing, it was very hard. And we see that with a lot of clients here, right? That have hard time and then growing, and then at one point, they get their information all centralized, done correctly, and then everything becomes transparent.
Yeah.
And then after that, they just start flying.
They start flying. And I think we see a lot of like patterns in new customers that we see at Gurus. Like the point where they realize they need the technology, where it becomes a factor for them, is really where it all starts catching up to them. At what point, I'm wondering, for a nonprofit organization, is really where you take a look at your organization and realize or decide it's time to take that step?
Opportunity Fund has changed in the last 10 years tremendously. We used to be more of an affordable housing lender, where it was large loans in very small volume. And now we are very small loans in a very large volume. And my accounting structure did not allow me what I needed in segmentation. I needed more segmentation. I needed more information in my accounting system that the old system could not provide. And the import function was so quirky, I needed IT to prepare it for me. So it's a combination of all these things that I figured we can't keep growing with this system. That system cannot grow with us. Not only I changed the system, but I changed my entire accounting structure to open up doors, to open up more segment, to open up wherever we're going to go.
That's really interesting. So would you say that adopting the technology has also changed the organization?
The organization would have changed anyway, and there was just one path for accounting to follow, is to make the change, the plunge, and say we need to upgrade to something that can follow wherever Opportunity Fund is going. We used to be only in California. We had income from California. Now we have income from 45 different states.
Right. Wow.
And in my accounting system, my old one, I could not do anything with that. There was no way I could get a report because the states were not recorded. So now with NetSuite, every payment I collect is tagged with the states where it's coming from.
Right.
And you get into different regulations, different tax laws, and it becomes very, very complicated.
Yes, because right now we're a nonprofit in California and a few other states, but there are states where we don't have the status of nonprofit. Hence, we have to file a tax return.
That concept of transparency is really and was really important during this project. Like having visibility on that data, where it's coming from, and NetSuite really allows you to, like Nicole said, tag different piece of information a GLM pack, where you will see your reporting down the road much clearer, and you will be much able to do some data analysis that are relevant for you to do the decisions you need to take.
And I'm curious about the collaboration between the two of you, whether Nicole, you were clear on your ideas and David was just kind of like the architect who provided the solution, or whether or not there was a collaboration from, hey, these are the things that are stopping me from getting where I want to go, and maybe David made some recommendations. How was that?
I kind of had a clear idea where I wanted to go, but I did not know how to get there.
Right.
And not knowing NetSuite, I did not know what NetSuite could do for me. And that's where he gets into the picture, telling me, okay, here's where you need to be, and here's how we can get there.
Also, we had a lot of interesting discussions about the value of certain ways of doing things, like approvals, for example, right? So we had some interesting conversation on, like, does it slows down the process? Where is the value in configuring this extra step in the process? Where is the value of this? So our role is really to get client, like, really, like and Nicole was really, our relationship was really good in that sense, that I was trying to ask you questions to myself understand the requirement better, but also it would have the effect that, oh, okay, I didn't see it that way, so maybe let's do this instead. And in my, and the other way around too. Oh yeah, okay, no, I didn't get that, so let's do it that way instead. So it was, yeah. No,
It was a true collaboration.
Oh yeah.
I needed his knowledge, and he needed to hear from me what my company needs.
I really hope that NetSuite and the technologies you adopt continue to help you grow. And I sincerely hope to one day invite one of the companies you've helped here to sit down and talk to them about how NetSuite and cloud technology has helped them grow as well.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
Sort of to what John said, why do you feel nonprofit organizations like Opportunity Fund are so fundamental to a country's economy? I mean, you guys give second chances and you help build entrepreneurs and businesses. Maybe you can speak a little bit to that.
Yeah, I mean, communities thrive with small enterprises, but it's hard. It's hard to start a company without the financing behind it.
It is, especially in the initial startup years, right? There's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of what you said, the growth factor. It's a difficult period.
They make our community and our neighborhoods more vibrant. We
Absolutely.
need them. We need those small enterprises to keep going.
I grew up in an era where you could go to a mom and pop shop to buy your shoes or your books for school or whatever the case may be. There's so many, like even just a charm of going into a small candy store run by a local family in your community.
Absolutely.
And what I really like about Opportunity Fund is that you're bringing that back.
We do.
You're giving space to people who wouldn't otherwise have the opportunities, because I think it's really great that you're giving space to these smaller companies.
You don't only help new entrepreneurs, but you give a second chance to entrepreneurs who have tried and failed. It's also important to acknowledge that, they very likely learned from their mistakes. They went for the trial period, and it's totally impactful to the community. Give those guys a second shot to take what they've learned from their failures and, strive for success the second time around.
An entrepreneur will say, I need $100,000 to grow my business. He will go to a cash advance. They will give him $100,000 that the business cannot support. He will come to us, and we're going to look at his cash flow at his business, and we're going to say, what your business can support is 25. Let's give you 25, grow one step. Then you come back, we'll give you 50.
They really take care of their people. They really take care. They're not necessarily clients. They're not seen as clients or anything like that. They really are. They have a whole team out there in San Jose that have resources to help and fundamentally they want to help, and that is fantastic. I mean, and it shows. It feels. You can feel it.
What would you say in terms of before and after NetSuite? Like, what do you think your outreach has evolved to?
We did a partnership with Lending Club, which is one of the largest online lender, and that has opened so many doors for our borrowers, because now we can reach a lot more people, and we can reach a younger population that does everything on their phone, which was not available to them before we did that partnership with Lending Club.
Facebook has this new feature for your birthday. You can ask your friends in your community to donate to a charity of your choice, and you get this really cool progress bar. And from what I see, it works. A lot of people do donate, and a lot of people do feel inspired, and maybe it's because the convenience, the comfort, a platform that you trust. So I'm sure technology is making a huge difference in the amount of impact that you have, and how wide your audience becomes.
I just want to say that I was really happy to be a part of this project with Nicole. It was great. I was really happy as a consultant to be able to help opportunity funds. It doesn't happen often enough that we get to help nonprofit organizations to grow. They are so critical. They are so important in everyday life. We don't see them. They don't get all the lights that they should. These are people that pour their heart into their communities, and it makes a huge difference. So thank you so much for letting me the opportunity to help that.
Well, thank you for your help.
No problem.
This was a rescue project. I had a different implementer before, and when I met David, I was like, I'm in heaven.
Yes, that's right. I can see that.
He understood our needs. He understood where the other one failed, and he was just a ray of light in my life.
It's a ray of light.
We did it quickly. We started in April.
Oh yeah, that was really quick. We started in April, I think.
We went live on July 1st.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole and David, I want to thank you both again for joining us. This has been a refreshing conversation.
Yeah, it's been a great talk.
Yeah, as you said, David, we don't often get to work with nonprofit. I really hope to do more of it. If you check out the links below this video, we'll make sure to have links to the programs that Gurus have in place for nonprofits. At the same time, if you want to get in touch with Opportunity Fund, we will have links for you to contact them as well. And, if you like Ethan's new look of having a shirt underneath his t-shirt, please let us know in the comments below. Jokes aside, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. This has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys.